Yo, what up, YouTube? It's your brother YT, back at it again with another video. If you got a job right now, then you understand how hard it is, that job is not enough. It's keeping you just over broke. You probably make just enough to get by. You might be making ends meet. You got no extra room. You got no savings or low savings. It's getting harder to survive for those that only have one income. And it's gotten to the point some people have 6 different jobs just so they can pay the bills. Can anyone actually afford life in 2025, making 100K, still broke? That's the title of this video. Let's get into this one. This lady right here says she's working 40 plus hours and still broke. It's gonna be a lot of people saying that, I'm pretty sure, on this video. Family, you already know what to do. And if you're brand new too, thumbs up this video so YouTube can push this content out. Smash subscribe to join the tribe and ring the post notification bell as well. Y'all know me, I'm gonna get my real, raw, authentic reaction to this video. Y'all comment at any time, letting me know what y'all think of this video. All right, let's get into it.
I work 40 plus hours a week and I'm still broke. America, you got some explaining to do.
The cost of living in this country is currently, it's not going to be, it is currently unsustainable.
As I'm growing older, I'm just seeing like all these jobs I work at like don't really mean much. Like it just helps pay my bills and helps me like stay afloat and pays for the roof on my head, but it's like, what else does it get?
When did making 6 figures start feeling like minimum wage? People are out here making more money than ever, yet still living paycheck to paycheck. Groceries, ridiculous. Rent, criminal. This isn't just a vibe, this is a crisis. Here's the catch no one prepared us for. Making more money doesn't feel like progress anymore. It feels like treading water with fancier shoes. Let's listen to what some people are sharing about surviving in 2025. And trust me, it's not just whining, it's their reality.
Why is no one talking about how serious the cost of living actually is? So we pay like a really cheap amount of rent compared to like all the other rent I see, and we're a family of 6. We pay $9.50 rent. That's cheap. We're in Missouri.
It is cheap.
It's like not some nice new place or anything. It was actually built in 1890. My husband is working 3 jobs right now. We buy absolutely nothing that we don't need. And we actually go without a lot of things that we actually do need. I feel like if you're able to do anything that's not just surviving, then you got it good.
Now look at that. That's what I was talking about. She says her guy has 3 jobs. 3 jobs he has. And they still can't get everything they need. They're still going without. I'm telling you, some people have 6 jobs. That's not me over exaggerating. Is that not crazy? I don't know how they do it. How much further can you push your body until you collapse? The economy collapsing, people body gonna start collapsing. They gonna start collapsing at the job. And this is no joke. This is not to be funny. This is not a laughing matter. How are you able to work 3 plus jobs, 4 or 5 jobs? You just on go mode 24/7, in survival mode 24/7, like a zombie, just working all day, every day. No time for nothing else. And that's still not enough to get by. That's the crazy part.
I feel so sad that I didn't appreciate the times where we were able to actually have fun at this point. So much has changed in the past few years. Like, what? I just really want to know. How is everyone surviving? Is everyone working like 24/7? Because that's what my husband does. And I'm just home with my little kids all the time. It's kind of like depressing that we're never together as a family. So I don't know. I hope one day we can be, but it sucks.
Key point.
I'm going to explain to you guys how much more expensive things are today than they were even 3 years ago based off of my current financial situation. So 4 years ago, when I graduated law school, I graduated making $65,000 a year. I was living in a 1-bedroom by myself, paying $1,400 a month. After the first 3 months, my boyfriend moved in, and so then we were splitting it, so it was $700 apiece. But he lost his job at one point, and so for 3 months before he got a new one, I was covering the rent all by myself. So it was about 6 months of me paying $1,400 a month for that year-long lease. Now I make about $85,000 a year. I have 2 roommates, and we split the rent 3 ways. And usually my rent is like $950, something around that.
She makes $85,000 per year and still has to have 3 roommates. 3 roommates making $85K. $85K is the new $30K. Or $20K even. At this rate. Big beautiful bill just got passed. Once that kicks in, I hate to see how many jobs people gonna have to work, how many roommates they gonna have, how down bad people are gonna be. The impact of that bill, BBB, which I came to realize means 666. People not even realizing that. I've been telling y'all he gonna be the Antichrist more than likely. It's looking like, but that's another topic. It's about to get worse. That's the sad part. The politician that you have in office wants it that way. He wants a weaker dollar. He wants an economy that is in shambles. Sorry, y'all. That's the truth. I can't keep it no more real than that.
So I'm making technically $20,000 a year. I'm paying roughly the same of what I was paying in rent. And I have never been more stressed out about money in my entire life.
The reason why millennials and Gen Z can't afford to buy a house right now is not because they're lazy. It's not the $7 lattes and it's not the avocado toast. And there's no doubt that working hard and saving money is what most first-time homebuyers need to do before they buy a home. But the biggest issue right now is wages are not keeping up with inflation. Home prices alone are up 60% in the last 5 years. To put that in perspective, if you were making $65,000 in 2020 and had no debt, you could have qualified for a $500,000 loan. And today in 2025, you would need to be making $100,000. But here's the thing, that $500,000 house isn't $500,000 anymore. It's $800,000. If you're watching this video and bought a house prior to 2020, ask yourself this. If you had to do it all over again, could you buy the house you own right now with today's market price and your current income? The truth for most of you, including myself, is no, I could not buy my house again if I had to do it right now. I would have.
There's some good points that they got on this video. So I'm pausing it at the right times because I got to talk about it. They're saying, and statistics show, economists say, if you did not buy a house by 2020, then you will never own a house. $800K for a house that was $500K. A house that was $200K is like $450, $500K. You're never going to own a house if you didn't get one by 2020 is what they're putting out there. And this is why you will own nothing to be happy. That's the agenda. They've gotten it to this point so they can promote that. You know, the WEF, World Economic Forum, they want it that way. They want you to rent forever so they can keep raising the prices and can keep you in debt and keep you struggling. Pretty much they want to have control over you.
My house probably 10, 20 miles away from where I'm currently living. I would need to be making 70% more today than I was prior to 2020. And most people, their wages barely went up. So yeah, you can't expect buying a home to ever be easy, but it would be a lot easier if our wages were going up and interest rates weren't 7%.
Did you hear that? That's not someone mismanaging their money. That's someone realizing the system has shifted under our feet.
As I'm growing older, I'm just seeing like all these jobs I work at like don't really mean much. Like it just helps pay my bills and helps me like stay afloat and pays for the roof on my head. But it's like, what else does it give? And I think that's what a lot of people are realizing is like you get like 25 or 30 bucks an hour, if not more, maybe even 100 grand. But it's like, shit, what can I get with it when everything is so expensive these days? Houses are 500 grand and they're shitty. In some areas, maybe 300 grand, and depending on the area. But it's like, is it really worth it for some house? You're paying so much for just like to live or like own something, and like all these taxes and insurance and bills. It's just like, holy shit, what am I even working for? And that's why I'm seeing like a lot of homeless people like that just give up. Like, it's crazy.
I work 40 plus hours a week and I'm still broke. America, you got some explaining to do. Right now, come to the front.
I told myself I would never cry on the internet because I think that's so lame. But I just got our rent renewal thing for our apartment complex, and it's going up by $300 a month. $300 for a one-bedroom apartment that is not updated in any sort of way. And our complex doesn't even have like nice amenities. Like we have a tiny pool and a tennis court. Like this is not a luxury apartment complex. We already pay with all the fees and everything included $2,000 a month, and now we're going to be paying $2,300 a month for this tiny apartment. And that's just so frustrating. I don't understand how people can live in this world anymore, and I just don't want to move again because that's so much work and more money, and it's stressful trying to find another place, and it's just so annoying. And now I feel like I need to get a new job, and I just got this job and I like it, but it's not paying me nearly what I need. And so now I'm gonna have to go through applying to jobs again, which I did for like a whole year plus until I found this job. So I'm gonna have to go through all of that again. It's just not fair.
Y'all know what's really crazy living in America is the fact that you could work 2-3 jobs, work 60 hours a week, and barely afford to live.
That was what I said at the beginning of the video. And I'm glad it's a lot of clips of people talking about it because this is the reality. JOB stands for just over broke. And that don't matter if you got 1, 2, or 3 of them. It's keeping everybody just over broke, can barely afford to live, cannot afford a basic living like we've been learning, a basic living. We're not talking about luxury. We're not talking about above average. We're talking about a normal life, right? It's not cutting it. It's not cutting the chase. Something got to change. Something needs to be done. And that's for us to figure out because the government not going to figure that out. They're at the point of they want to get richer and as rich as they can get before their time is up. They know their time is coming to an end and they just want to get as rich as they can right now. That's their plan. The rich get richer, the poor get poorer. The middle class becomes the new poor.
Barely afford to go to school, barely afford groceries, and it's just like, there's nothing you can do. Like, there's nothing you can do. It just is what it is. Like, there's not enough money. People don't get paid enough just to even survive. But that's reality, I guess. I don't know.
Living in California is fucking ridiculous, let alone raising a family in California. We genuinely can't afford a home that would fit our entire family of 6. And if it's not the homes that are getting you, then it's your utilities that are randomly just starting to double. And if it's not the utilities, then you can bet your grocery bill is probably going to do it to you. It's like climbing this uphill battle that you'll never win. Luckily, me and my husband were on the same page, so we're leaving California. But how do people do it here? Because you can't save money here. And unless you're some millionaire, you're living paycheck to paycheck no matter what you do. I lived here all my life, and it's sad that I have to leave because it's just impossible to make it here. And then we have our parents' generation telling us, oh, you just need to work harder. It's not the same. Our money now does not go as far as the money back then, no matter what they say. It's just genuinely a struggle and I don't get it.
People don't understand how truly poor the American South is. I moved from Tennessee to California about 4 years ago and I'm still paying for it now. We just don't have the money to move, and so I don't really meet a lot of people from Tennessee out here. The closest I find are really people from Ohio, and so now I'm a Browns fan. But I bring that up because that's an important component in understanding the political divide. It has taken a lot for me to understand that social programs are there for me to use them because for most of my life there was not enough to go around. I remember the first time I went to a food bank and they gave me an onion, I actually cried. And not like onion cried, but cried because it wasn't required food. It was flavor, and that was a luxury I couldn't really ever afford. And then I learned that they had like taco seasoning, and oh my God, it was amazing. But when you're used to getting by on so little, and the only security you really feel you have is the ability to make a dollar stretch, it is scary to ask for help. And you wonder who you're taking it away from. So when people take aid when they're destitute as opposed to like nearly, I think people can jump into judgment because they probably need the aid just as much as the person who received it, and they're scared it won't be there when they're long past needing it. And guys, there's enough to go around.
The cost of living in this country is currently, it's not going to be, it is currently unsustainable.
Yo, so family, y'all got to see that people who are making 75 to 100K plus, meaning or more, still are in the same boat as those that are making less than that. They're still struggling. Let me know, family, how much do you make? And are you struggling on that income or that salary? I want to know. Share it with others too so they can see that they're not alone. We're living through some of the hardest times, and I studied the Great Depression. I've studied it and tapped into learning about economics outside of what school taught me. I started to tap into it myself and prepare myself for what's coming. And I was told, this recession that we're currently in, because they're saying we're not in one, but we've been in one. I learned that it would be comparable to the Great Depression. A lot of us don't know about the Great Depression. And if you don't, you should probably go back and study it to see how it was. And it was like this, what we're talking about right now, all of these videos that y'all just seen today, this is how it was then, right? People going to soup kitchens, multiple families living together because they can't survive on their own, having to work multiple jobs, homelessness skyrocketing. All of that was going on. This might actually be, and I'm not going to say might, this is worse than that, really. This is actually worse than the Great Depression, or will be long term. Let me say that. It's going to be, because this is just the beginning. It's going to get worse. Let me know what y'all think, though, family. Share those incomes. Share how are you getting by, too. Let the people know if you're doing good right now and you're managing through this, how are you doing it? Because the people want to know. Peace into my Hebrew family. Shalom. I will catch y'all on the next one.